being judged, and you're allowing yourself to be judged, and that's a worrying position to put yourself in.
You said once, not long ago, quote you rather than Caroline Coon, you said, I don't sound, I don't sing, walk, talk, or look like anybody else. I mean, really censor your own difference.
Yeah, the art of the individual, I call it.
Yeah.
And everybody has that. No matter how many people are on this earth and how many generations through the centuries, every single time a human being is born, that is an individual. No matter what combination of events, there will never be a one like that ever again. No two identical humans. That's a wonderful thing. That means we all have the potential of our own voice. Why on earth would you go out of your way to try to sound like someone else? Because by doing that, you are not explaining your own experiences. You're trying to live them through someone else. In other words, you become an actor in your own life. That's not healthy.
And when you criticise other bands, you do it often because they're following a fashion. They're not being individual. They're just looking around, seeing what's going, and then following.
They're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Part of the shitstorm. Yeah. Part of the regular routine. That makes it difficult for people that really do want to tell the truth as it is to continue to tell the truth. You tend to be, for what I do, you tend to be pushed into this corner by the media of being slightly eccentric, you know, like, oh, Viv Stanchel, for instance, and that's unfair and wrong and silly. I think we should be really laughing at the clowns that keep imitating themselves and everything else.
There's a good picture you've got, a picture of you wearing a moth-eaten sweater in the book where you say wear a moth-eaten sweater meant poverty.
Yeah.
You know, not fashion.
Not fashion.
Like when safety
all
pins,
I had.
Safety pins were there.
And safety pins to keep it together. That's all I had. Yeah. That and a great deal of style.
Well, when you were that business of fashion, though, I mean, when at the time of punk, there were all sorts of people trying to climb onto that bandwagon. There's even a story in your book about about Paul McCartney, even sort of like trying to say, "Oh, come along, couldn't we get together or do something?" A funny story. It was like Harrods, you were in a taxi or something.
Yeah, with my wife Nora, and I'm not being mean-spirited here. I was trying to explain to people that I felt embarrassed that Paul McCartney and it was then Linda came running across the road from Harrods, and they're banging on the cab window, and I immediately closed the door. And at that point, I didn't know what to do from there on in. and then the cab slowly moved away, but they ran along with us. And they were trying to be friendly. And I've met Paul McCartney since, and he's all right. He really is a good chappie. But it was too much at that time for me to take. That's one of the Beatles trying to bang his way in on my cab.
Now, that word honest and so on, because you say, it's a word you use a lot about, you say, well, I'm honest, that I'm sorry if I've upset you, but I mean, there must be times when you think, well, I could be more honest here. I'll use a bit of tact here. I'll use a bit of discretion.
No, I'm not a fool. I'm not going to reveal all my secrets to everyone. That would be open like a book. And if you're that open, that honest, you're really rather stupid. Because, you know, the least you fess up, shall we say, to the public about your private life, the better. Because it is your private life. And you won't have one very quickly if you open those doors. I will never do a Hello magazine spread because it will ruin your life. It's